See that title? I bet you're really confused, huh? Let me explain myself, but first let's start with a synopsis for a little bit of context. My Hero Academia is an anime in which the world is filled with people with powers of their very own, quirks that are unique to each person, while a minority of the population are powerless people, quirkless people as they're called, and our hero is one of them. Izuku Midoriya is a young male boy who idolizes and admires heroes, but idolizes the biggest hero of them All Might. He dreams of becoming a hero as great as him, but unfortunately, he's belittled and constantly admonished by his peers and friends, especially his old childhood friend and turned bully, Bakugo Katsuki, who inherits his own sort of very unique and very destructive power. Despite all this, he still desires to become a hero. Now, my initial disappointment with the series came with a little character trait that he has, and that is what becomes of his admiring nature, what becomes of his idolization of heroes, and that is to take every single experience he witnesses and to take down every single experience and write them down in his journal. Every single hero he witnesses, he will jot down every single detail that he can observe in the experience. He'll take every single bit of information he can and write it all down in these little notebooks of his. And that's where I started guessing it, where the story was going to go for Izuku Midoriya. I ultimately came to the conclusion that Izuku Midoriya would remain quirkless and become a strategist. Someone who guides teams of heroes throughout very difficult scenarios by taking all the information he has of those heroes and the villains he's witnessed, and basically coming up with a strategy to make sure everyone comes out with the best possible outcome. That is what I wanted. That's what I guessed, but unfortunately I was wrong. I wanted for Izuku to stay a quirkless hero so that heroes who at first belittled and talked down to him would become more open to the idea of quirkless heroes, and that they would come to learn from Izuku Midoriya and respect him as a fellow hero. But, nope. The number one hero, All Might, the hero he idolizes the most, it passes down his quirk, which is an inherited quirk, to Izuku Midoriya after witnessing Izuku Midoriya put on a selfless act of heroism despite being quirkless against a villain who was basically getting ready to kill one of his friends. Seeing this genuine heroism, seeing this genuine selflessness, he saw a glimmer of light inside Izuku Midoriya, and despite the fact that Izuku was quirkless, he passes his power down onto Izuku Midoriya, turning Izuku Midoriya into potentially a great hero. At first, Izuku Midoriya can't control his power very well, and he even needs to work out and buff up his body a bit before he can even so much as try to use it. Even then, he lacks the ability to control it, and has to learn as he goes along, even as he becomes a student of the world's best hero school, UA Academy. Or maybe it's just UA. I don't know. And this story, it's good in its own right. Believe me, it really is, and I love it for that. But my mind can't shake that initial disappointment that I had then. And I still kind of do. I would absolutely gush over a story like that. A hero is belittled by his peers and then becomes something much greater than what people would expect of him. And I know that's a story that has been done pretty much a dozen times already, I'm sure, but I'd still see it. In this context, I would love to see that kind of story. But that's not the story they went with, and I can't do anything about that. I can't do a single thing about that myself. So I'll just sit, turn on Crunchyroll, and watch My Hero Academia and enjoy it for what it is. Thank you for watching, everyone, and goodbye.